Raqs-e-Rooh, the dance of the soul. This dance is supposed to bring to you the simplest, most important message of Sufi philosophy. That every person, every individual must find his or her own path to the ultimate truth. Through detachment from materialism, through detachment from hollow ritualism, and through freeing yourself from the traps of this world. Whatever your ultimate truth may be. It also brings to you the idea that you cannot exist in this world unless you learn to understand and love all of it. And love doesn't mean a tree-hugging kind of love. Love means understanding where it all comes from. The good, the evil, the mucked up, the happy. When I first thought of making this dance, it was because I heard the zikr, which is the accompaniment to the dancing done by the dervishes in Turkey, in Konya, who follow the said to be the Sufis' path. I really felt something stir in me with the music, but at the same time, I happened to read a pamphlet which was from the Konya school at that time, where these followers are schooled. And I really was shocked at reading that pamphlet, and I rebelled against it, because here it was laying down on paper how you must sit and eat, how you should meditate, how you should spend your day. And to me, that is the exact opposite of what Sufism is about, which is to find your individual way, which is to not close you down in rituals, which is to not tie you down in a particular organized way of trying to get to your ultimate truth. At that time also, these schools did not involve women. And that was another thing that I felt was wrong. Ritualism is fine if it means something to you specifically, if it makes you get to a higher place, but not if it binds you down in an organized way. So that's how the idea of this dance started. And the dance is divided into 3 different sections. The first section brings together important symbols of Sufic philosophy. The triangle, the square, and the circle are all sketched into the space through the dancer's movements on the floor. And this section also shows you the ties to materialism and how this person is constantly trying to pull away, but not quite managing. It also brings in the 4 elements: earth, water, fire, and air, all tied into this being of ours on earth. The 4 seasons are linked to the 4 stages of human life: your babyhood, your maturity, your time when understanding grows, and then the frail aspect of old age. The second part, in which we show these connections, are at an upper stage when the person has broken away from the ground. And the third one, you see the person whirling. But the whirling is done in 2 directions and not quite with the hand movement that you expect when you see the Konya dancers. It's not the same, it's not the tilt in the head, and the footwork is quite complicated. That's because I wanted to come away from the hypnotic sort of whirling that we associate with the Konya Sufis. And the fact that dancing, that Sufism has become a hot trend now. This dance was choreographed and produced in 1992, before people were even speaking about Sufi thought, kind of forgotten about it. And I abhor the idea of just raising your arms to the top and whirling, and that's Sufism. That's not Sufism. I also want people to remember, when they look at this dance, that a lot of Sufis were persecuted in their times and were considered mad people and were considered rebels. And they were rebels from organized thought and organized religion. And that is what I want people to remember. Maulana Rumi himself, the first time he's said to have started whirling in ecstasy, he did that in the middle of a bazaar. If I did that in the middle of a market or a bazaar today, I would be seen as a mad person. Jalaluddin Rumi, from the Masnavi, translated by E.G. Brown. I died from mineral and plant became, died from the plant and took sentient frame, died from the beast and donned a human dress. When by my dying did I ever grow less? Another time from manhood I must die, to soar with angel pinions through the sky. Amidst angels also I must lose my place, since everything shall perish save his face. Let me be not, the harp strings tell me plain, that unto him do we return again. So the music for the Dance of the Soul posed a little problem for me, because I didn't want to use something that was too close to the zikr, because the zikr is not known very well in Pakistan, which was where this dance was produced, and I didn't want anybody to think that I was using any sacred text for this dance. And I thought, what do I want to use that will have no words in it? And so I decided that I wanted to have just the syllables of music, and I wanted it just to be based on the human voice. So we had 2 different voices, male and female, and I got the idea for the music from Ustad Sharma's Santoor piece that I heard. And I wanted to use that layering, which is not traditionally done in our classical music. The tabla is used sparingly in the beginning. So the first section is almost 6 minutes of alap. And when I first did this, alap meaning just slow introduction into the rag, where it builds very slowly. And people said to me, you are nuts. Nobody is going to listen to this music alap for 6 minutes. And I said, yes, when it has meaning, when it is coupled with the dance, you're not thinking of it as something separate. It has meaning and it will work. And it does. And it always has. I hope you'll enjoy that as part of the dance. Raqs-e-Rooh, the dance of the soul.